All right. First one is I'm a fairly attractive guy, quite flirty, and extremely oblivious to when women are interested. I recently read Models and How to Tell If They Are Interested, and the How to Tell If They Are Interested section was an eye opener. Now, this hasn't been a problem in my dating life. However, this is very problematic with friendships. I meet many fantastic women I'm not interested in that I want to be friends with, and after a while, they'll get cold and distant. Looking back, they had many signs of interest and backed off when they started dating someone else. Notably, I haven't had the same issue with gay men. How can you flirt with the world while still keeping things platonic?
So I think one of the things you can do is you can friend zone them, which is to like talk about friends of yours that they might like to go on a date with, which is like one very concrete way. Like, oh my gosh, you should meet my whatever friend. You guys might get along. You can talk about dates that you are going on that you are excited about. Like this is, you treat them explicitly like a friend, because what happens in the opening stages of flirting is there's this like, am I interested in you? Are we? Like, I'm available. And so you just like, I am not available. And like, I have someone else for you. That type of stuff tends to allow you to be playful and flirty and still be friends.
Yeah, I agree. Just friends with them. I mean, I really should just find a video from someone who talks about, it could be a man or a woman, how to friend zone someone. And then just
do people make videos on how to friend zone people?
Probably.
How to maintain friends?
I think so.
And I think it's kind of, I'll just give you a couple other things. Do the, like when you're inviting them out, invite them out in groups. Like do the opposite of date stuff. Like if you're going to go out to get drinks one-on-one with a date, invite them out with a group of people to go bowling that are of mixed, guys and girls.
Yeah, and just treat them, really just treat them like a friend of the same gender, which is to say, I get that you're flirting with the world. You can flirt with the world in a platonic way with men as well. But when you touch them, just touch them like they're a male friend. Don't have a lingering touch. Don't make sexual jokes. If you're going to compliment them in the way that you would a guy. Like I have guy friends who I will say they look handsome. So if you see them and you're telling them they look beautiful, just use the same tone that you would for a guy friend. And really, if you do that, I think you'll be fine. I think flirting with the world is actually a different type of flirting than flirting with someone you're attracted to.
It's
flirting
similar,
with someone you're
not the same.
attracted to, you are adding tension, sexual tension. Just don't do that when you're flirting with a female friend. And the same way that I don't think you do that with your male friends would be my guess.
Flirting with the world is a synonym would be playful and non-literal.
Making jokes, touching, smiling.
And flirting with someone that you're interested in has what Ben described as this element of like lingering eye contact, tension, heart racingness that is just not at all necessary to be playful with someone. So, yeah.
Next is, I've recently gotten a new girlfriend and we've been dating for 3 months, and in that time I've gotten to know her a lot closer recently. She has opened up about some trauma, specifically her mom passing away last year, her injury which might make her drop out of D1 college sports, and is still dealing with being raped a couple years ago. I have slowly come to realize that I'm not really looking for a relationship at this time in my life, and I want to be focused on developing my career. I'm 22, but still have 1 more year of college, and also that's not really related to her situation. She really doesn't have anyone else in her life that is a strong emotional support right now, since her only real friend is going through a lot right now as well. I was wondering how you would deal with this situation and what your ideas are about the situation. And if you want more info, I'd be happy to provide it.
How long have they been dating? I forget.
3 months.
3 months. So I'll start at the end. You don't want to stay in relationships out of guilt is a big one. You are not doing them a favor, certainly not long term, because you are eventually going to either resent them or just get out after they become more attached to you. And so, go ahead.
But this person also didn't say they want to end the relationship necessarily. They just said they don't want a serious relationship. So my first question would be, what do you want? Are you looking for casual dating? Are you looking to be friends? Have you decided you don't like this person and you want them out of your life? Like how you behave is going to be completely different based on what outcome you're looking for.
So a good question to ask yourself is, assuming that this person would be really happy with any sort of outcome, what is your ideal for them? Is it like we hang out less, we hang out this, we hang out that? And then the second thing, which I would say is like, tell them that, you know, hey, I'm looking to focus on work. And let's say, for instance, that what you want to do is have a more casual relationship. Like, hey, I'm looking to focus on work. I don't think I'm going to have or even want to spend the same amount of time like hanging out, all these other things. If you want to continue, I like you and I would like to see you in a more casual setting. But if you don't want to, I totally understand. Like, you just figure out what your ideal scenario is and then you speak to them about it.
Yeah.
Because it does take two engaged, happy people to make a good relationship and not just two people who are physically present, especially given that there's no children and it's only been 3 months and you are like, people are going to be at difficult times in their life when you decide that you don't want to give them what they perceive to need from you or what you think that they need from you. You also just might be over imagining what this person needs from you. So
yeah, what I would say is you say what you want. She says what she wants. If they overlap, then you do what you both want. And if there's a gap, then you part ways and try to find people who meet you where you want. So if you say, I want a casual relationship, she says, I'm really looking for something serious. You say, I think you're awesome. That's not me. So I think we should stop seeing each other. Yeah. And then do you want to stay friends or not? Because you could say we could stay friends. If you don't want to stay friends, then you don't say that part. Like, it's really just getting clear in yourself what your ideal is. And also if they don't want your ideal, what your continued relationship ideal is.
Acceptable is. It's kind of like, you just draw a Venn diagram for yourself. You're like, this is what is ideal for me. And within it is what is acceptable and good for me. And then you tell that to the person, then they say what their ideal and what's acceptable. And if there's overlap, you do the overlap.
And if there's not overlap,
like, this is our acceptables don't match up.
Yeah. So it's actually, it sounds simple because it is simple. It's not easy necessarily because you might be feeling emotional things like guilt or obligation, but here's my ideal. Okay, that's not my ideal. Okay, well, if you're not willing to meet me at my ideal, here's what's acceptable. We can still be friends, or we can't be, or whatever. Yeah. Okay, well, I don't want to be your friend. I only want to be your girlfriend because I care about you so much. Okay, unfortunately, that sounds like then we can't have a relationship at all. So,
I guess it doesn't need to be broken down this analytically, but if I were to create like a worksheet of it, it would be like, write down your ideal scenario, and then that's your circle. And then it's okay, write down your acceptables, and your acceptables, we are friends, we never speak again. You know what I mean? And like all of this, and you start with your ideal, and you ask them to fill out their ideal, and you see the overlap. Okay, there's probably none, because there's often none in two people's ideal relationships. And then you can move on to the acceptables, and then you do the same Venn diagram thing, and on your acceptables, we never speak again. and that's all it takes. That's a trump card. Like, for, my acceptable is you are my boyfriend. Okay, that's it. So we're repeating ourselves, but that's that. Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.